God for that. Thank God for that. Okay, we can get in some good Overwatch. San Francisco Shock at the Atlanta Reign. Certified Giga Banger Rose. The Shock have lost 3 matches back to back to back. Like, ridiculous stuff we're currently seeing. And obviously even more ridiculous. Danny picked up on it already, but Striker back in the roster. Like, what is happening? Like, I think everybody was shocked to see Striker like back in. Like, it's insane what's happening right now. Is he going to be this kind of secret piece of the puzzle that they found under the box lid of the puzzle pieces? Like, I don't know. Atlanta Reign, on the other hand, have been looking really good.
Yep, Atlanta Reign got 2 wins last week. They're looking at getting a 3rd under their belt, and a lot of it has to do with just the versatility that whole roster has been able to provide. Hawk has literally played almost every tank under the sun at this point, and I think like with Kaluge too, we were getting this sort of Kaluge versus Mikey. When do you want to use either tank player in the lineup for the Shock? And I think everybody's sort of on the page that Kaluge is going to offer a bit more versatility when it comes to the tanks that you would like to see in this meta. Mikey's great. The Wrecking Ball right now, though, for this meta is just not the right choice.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That has been kind of the sentiment, right? Where, well, Mikey can come in playing the Wrecking Ball. You know, you'd think with Tracer Sombra, like, that's a good, like, dive comp, right? It's kind of like, it doesn't operate like Winston, but it's kind of like you just want to get onto the backline, hit the slam, set your Tracer and Sombra up. But yeah, Mikey's just not been the play right now. Maybe we'll see a Wrecking Ball meta a little bit later down the line, or maybe some sort of Winston play. We might see Mikey back in, but for now, I think, yeah, sticking with Kaluge seems like the play. Striker, Proper, Finn, and Violence are going to round out that roster.
Yeah, so we're seeing Striker in the starting lineup. And, you know, maybe we get a chance to see a bit more dive. You know, Kaluge's D.Va looked really good despite the fact that they didn't get the win last week when we saw the D.Va at least versus the Houston Outlaws. But I did like the D.Va, and I'm hoping that Kaluge can kind of bring that back out and have a little bit of that DPS backup too. But I think Atlanta Reign are going to make that really, really difficult based on how they played last week.
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, Mitch is right. Vigilante has looked exceptional. The backline for Atlanta Reign, remember when they started out the season, they had the rookie backline of OG and Ultraviolet, and everybody was like, oh my god, like, you'd expect them to be good because they played together in the past, but I don't think people expected them to be that good. They've now come into a meta where Ultraviolet and Vigilante can kind of step in, double flex it up. They've looked so clean, like so clean. There was a stumbling from the Atlanta Reign. There was from the backline. OG and Ultraviolet started out really hot and then kind of simmered and died down just a little bit. They were kind of getting almost kind of sussed out. But with Vigilante stepping in, it feels like old Reign backline. It really does. And in a meta where you can play that double flex, is where they're suited. And this meta, having a strong Zen player is paramount. Hawk, of course, you can write essays on Hawk this season. I think his flexibility has been fantastic, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, where's Gator? Like, is Gator going to be stepping in to play like these main tanks? But we've not really been in a meta where you have to have like a main tank that Gator is more known for. It's more been D.Va, Zarya, like Junker Queen would I guess technically classify as an off tank, right? And Hawk just kind of checks all those boxes.
Not to mention that Hawk has had a ton of playtime with this roster as well. But I love that this stage, you know, maybe we will get a chance to see some Gator. We've seen some flexibility, like Fearless, for example, on Dallas Fuel, finally getting to see some playtime.
That's crazy. That's actually a really good comparison. Yeah, because we're like, oh, Fearless came in. Like,
where'd he go?
Like, every now and then it was like, oh, he didn't do that well. Put in Harbin, like MVP candidate, you know, and now we've just seen him 3-0, like, oh, wait, Fearless is back. Maybe let's do this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the same thing for the Reign. Maybe we do see, as we go into the Plains and playoffs with this new Kiriko patch, some Gator. But for the moment, I think they're more than happy with sticking with Hawk because, like you mentioned too, the amount of playtime he's had with this team already, like, the synergy's kind of there. It's all built up. They know the gem.
Right. I think the only pieces that have really been flexible for the Reign have been in the DPS lineup, at least for this stage. We've got Venom and Speedily. We've got the Jay Silly.
What is this? What is this?
Okay, let's go.
The J Silly plus Hawk on Orisa.
Let's go.
Okay. They're against Kaluj playing the Sigma, so that shield is non-existent for the most part, with Speedly just kind of spamming.
I mean, I think the other thing too is that with Violet on the Batiste, you'll probably feel more forced to use the Immortality field as well when you've got all of those Junkrat bombs headed your direction.
Yeah, also the spear too, if you do end up pinning someone with that spear, an Immortality field might be needed to save them. No saving Venom from that body shot, however. Discord Orb, a right click from Proper, does signal the first blood of this round so far. Kaluj picking up Hawk as Shock at the point.
Hey, that was really well played from the Shock as well, knowing that the Junkrat was going to be sending
No, he's going to switch.
I know, I
No,
figured this was going to happen, but, you know, Shock used the architecture of the map to play around all of the Junkrat damage coming their way, and it would have been sick. It would have been absolutely sick if they got control of the point first, and then they could use the Orisa and the Junkrat with that setup on the defense, but I think that the D.Va and the Sombra just make more sense. This is a look we've seen a lot from the Reign, and they've already got a pick.
And you see a long striker was waiting there for Violet to maybe use another ability to go in. Hawk got nanoed. Ultraviolet built up his nano boost super quickly in that first fight, even though it did result in a loss for them, and was able to assassinate one of the backline members of the Shock. But Violet, yeah, he'd still be shooting people on high ground. It's going to be almost impossible for them to just lodge Violet, and he can just window himself and just shoot at people. 50% now for the Shock, and ults coming online now for both teams.
You could send a dive from Atlanta up there. Like, look, Huck is going to wrap around actually up to the high ground to at least force Violet off, but is everybody else in the range set up here to follow up on that removal?
Uh-oh. It's not good. Kalush's already used that eat. That pulse bomb's heading his way. Venom's used it and he didn't get anybody with it in the kill feed, so went wide, I can imagine. Proper's in the server room. He's got a fantastic crossfire. Just can't get caught out. Oh, Venom ends up going down to, again, another body shot. Proper, more like a mortal right now in this front line. And he's got mad pocket too. You can just kind of perma-orb him, and he's always going to find value with it. Rain has just not had a say in this match whatsoever so far.
Well, they're working up to the say that they'd like to have, which is going to be Speedily's EMP. So he's going to be on point. He's not going to decloak yet until the rest of the team
Look at
is
Violet,
in position. Yeah, I mean, what do you do against that?
As EMP, I mean, the lamp's going to come down and save Finn. He then uses Transcendence. Luckily, though, the focus was there. Kalush ended up going down, but overtime is here. The Anti-Rain will have to hit Q at once. No, Transcendence is going to save you from that stick, unfortunately. Ultraviolet. Overtime ticking down, and a kick from Finn to make sure Hawk can't touch. And the San Francisco Shock coming out the gate strong, 100-0.
Okay, then. Look, Shock might just have finally figured it out. I know we only have one round of Li Shang under our belts, but
yeah, one round. Andes.
Listen. I know. I'm trying to stop myself from going a little bit too far with it, but there are signs of life that transfer between whatever composition that they're running. And a lot of that is that Proper is awake, Proper has his monitor plugged in, he's in peak form from just how he was able to shut down the corridors with the Sojourn. We are seeing a different look from the Shock, though, so do those synergistic skills actually transfer over to more of a dive composition? This is where we get a chance to answer that, and then also if Speedily's Echo can be effective. We're seeing that for the first time this series.
Okay. Well, that's not good. That has been the first to die for a lot of these fights so far. Normally at the hands of Proper. Same goes for them. 5 seconds till the point unlocks. Yeah, it's just a big reset. I mean, it's not the worst losing someone that early because the point unlocks and maybe you can get a recontest before the cap comes through. There you go, there's the recontest. It's actually Venom doing that on the back end of things. Recall forced onto Proper. Now the Shock, all they need to do is just play around this point. Still an overwhelming amount of damage coming out from Speedly. A good long-range sleep onto Violet from Ultraviolet. I actually stopped myself there. I thought I said that wrong, but no, that was correct. There's just 2 Violets on the team, 1 Violet and 1 Ultra. Cap for the Rain for the first time this series.
Venom's going to go ahead and chase Finn down as well. Oh my gosh, forcing Finn to use so
Venom.
much.
That's good.
Look at that, like that. There was the bio nade to try to keep himself alive, and then even Violet was coming over to try to give some healing over to Finn, but it just wasn't enough. So a really big stagger here for the Rain to start racking up some percentage. Venom also got the Pulse Bomb online, so if you're not careful, Shock might just go down to something there too.
A dive is pretty immense, but a lot of that damage is actually negated by Hawk. His defense matrix stopping those nano boosted shots from Kalush from doing anything. A boop off the map for Violet as Hawk kills 2. Just with his little buddy blaster. Oh no, not buddy blaster. Oh, it could have been. I'm not entirely sure. We didn't see it. But regardless, he still killed 2 in that small little room. Yeah, that's a Rain with a good bit of defense. That nano boost went completely wasted. Kalush's mech got focused down instantly.
Yeah, well, you can look at how much was used on the other side of things as well, though. Rain used the remech, you got the nano, and the Transcendence got forced out of Vigilante during that fight as well. Granted, I mean, you're just...
Oh, no!
Oh, like, what?
Oh,
what?
he got back on. He got back on, he got back on, he got back on. It's all good.
Okay.
Cooldown's only 4 seconds. We're good, we're good. There's the copy from Speedly. He's going to copy that Tracer. This is almost an instant pulse bomb if you could just pepper someone for half a second. 50% already. A lot of it getting matrixed by Kalush, but even the melees do a fair amount of ult charge. Striker puts an end to it though with an EMP. Pulse bomb from Proper, but Atlanta Rain still holding on to this point. A very, very different look from round number 1.
They're going to keep control of it too. I mean, look at that. Striker actually had the EMP and it didn't do anything. Soundware from Violet to try to close this out.
It's 3. Yeah, Pulse bomb from Venom in his back pocket. He spotted Violet already, but Striker's dead. A 4-on-5 now, and the Shock have gone upwards hill battle to climb. Pulse bomb goes wide from Venom, but look at this focus fire. It's just too good from the Atlanta Rain. They're going to take round number 2, another 100-0, this time on the other side.
Shock couldn't really do much against Speedly's Echo. A lot of times where Shock was trying to focus down the Echo, maybe get a hack, maybe just try to gun it out of the sky, Hawk was there to be able to support that aerial unit. The defense matrix has been so clutch from Hawk, and I'm kind of excited to see if like Speedly can keep that up. Vigilante though, that's just nasty. Like,
You do be shooting.
you have to be so predictive with those.
Oh, that was nice.
The volleys
Kind of predicting
so
the blink out of the
good.
door there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Love to see it, love to see it. Predictive volleys are always my favorite thing in the world. When playing Zen, predicting the Tracer recall, where their position is, etc.
Feels good when you get that right.
Neat. Yeah. It feels exceptionally good. Still, Echo for Speedly here, Rose. No long-range hit scan, of course, like you mentioned. So yeah, it's going to be a tough battle.
Yeah, I mean, the only real chance Shock have to be able to take it out is if Striker gets a hack onto Speedly. Speedly's been playing so far up in the skybox, he might even be out of range of Striker's hack unless he, touches back down to earth for a few seconds. Or maybe Finn is going to play Snipe Yada and just get Speedly down to the ground. But it's been tough so far for the Shock to deal with that.
That's been very tough. That mega health pack control is quite important for both teams. Sombra would like to hack that if you're Striker. Looks like San Francisco Shock do control it, even without that hack. The point has been unlocked, and it's Rain to cap. Even without Hawk here, Rain could actually... Oh, nice little boot from Kalush. Rain could actually still be in this. They've got a lot of people with a lot of mobility and Ultraviolet at their back. Yeah, it looks like the San Francisco Shock overshot their mark just a tad. They did take control of Mega, but with only the single kill onto Hawk, Atlanta Rain was still able to hold.
It's really impressive as well because Venom has the Pulse Bomb and being on the defensive side. Venom can just kind of wrap around the Shock, maybe stagger them from being able to come back in, so you have to go for the reset here. Oh, they're stuck in like the diner too. Like, oh no.
Oh, what a stick by Venom. Venom, of course, known for his Tracer. And you can see why these sticks, even with a Matrix staring at your face, still manages to connect them. That's a Rain in good stead. Little body blaster action. Yeah, Kalush. There's no way you win that one, not against Speedly. And with 55%, Striker nearing the EMP. You're looking at the single EMP to maybe get this flip. It's actually forced Shock to change their support line as Violet now jumps onto the BAP.
The Batista, you're just hoping that the Immortality Field might be enough of a saving grace, and the burst healing as well.
I mean, Yeah. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Even a Transcendence forced. San Francisco Shock kind of in shambles right now. They do manage to get this flip. A beautiful copy there from Speedly to stop that self-destruct. Damage hitting him when he was in the Echo form. Even hit the recall too to make sure he also didn't get knocked out of copy form. So had 2 safety measures to stop him dying to self-destruct. Violet takes care of the copy, but look at the time there. It's actually bought them, Rose. 20% to go. They could just take this one here and now.
They could. Where does Striker has to get into a position to be able to use this EMP? Vigilante has the Transcendence.
Okay, Shock still needs to touch. Striker is right there, but Hawk is just forcing more things. A nano boost, both supports dead. EMP from Striker is still available. No recall on Proper. His life put to an end too. The EMP hits, but it doesn't matter. Lights out for the Shock on map number 1 as the Atlanta Reign clutch it out.
Yeah, no answer to the Echo. Speedily had such heads-up play with that hero though too. Like, that was so smart to copy the Tracer. And I felt like with a lot of the micro decisions Atlanta Reign were making in that map, they really just didn't give Shock a chance to come back in. Not after that first round. They knew how to deal with what Shock wanted to throw at them.
That was a super nice start from the Shock, to be fair, too. 100-0 on Command Center, and then, whoa, 100-0 by the Atlanta Reign. Last map a little bit closer, you could say, but it still very much felt like Atlanta Reign kind of taking over. Well, the Shock, they added Striker. What more can he get done in the series? Him and Proper, of course, exceptional players in their own right, but the Shock currently staring down the barrel of 4 losses. Can the Atlanta Reign close this one out? If it's like map number 1, maybe they're going to do it in the next 2. We'll have to wait and see after this. welcome back. Felt like Shock were back in that first round. But yeah, the Atlanta Reign just kind of swept them on the next two. Lijiang Tower was a 2-1 affair, if you've only just joined us for the Atlanta Reign. Yeah, Speedly, there was lots of like cool, small like micro techs that we saw in that game, Rose. You pointed out a couple of them, but the one that stood out, I think, to a lot of people was Speedly.
Yes.
He was kind of dueling out with the old diva. Yeah, so look at that. Boom. Hits the recall too. I was speaking about it during the series, so I was trying to get my words out as fast as possible, right? Just to make sure that everything could be fit in during that fight because it was so hectic. But with this self-destruct, you can use the dupe to negate the damage because it has invulnerability frame, so you'd normally dupe the self-destruct. But you saw him in that shot right there. Him turn towards the self-destruct was like, oh, damn it. I have not hit this on the right time. So then he hits the recall. So it's like an elongated amount of invulnerability frames, which is really cool. I thought that was really sweet. I personally love like small like micro players like that.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going. Let's go. Okay, Lijiang Tower. Okay, we're going to end it there. Lijiang Tower was a good look for Speedly, and something that you pointed out, Rose, when we went on to the second round was, how are they going to deal with this Echo? And they just couldn't.
It was so difficult when you have the combination, too, of, like, the Sombra and the Tracer. You know, you're not running the Sojourn like Shock had run on Control Center, so you don't necessarily have that long-range damage. But even still, like, you know, maybe you have the ability to like, sleep it, I don't know, whatever it was. Speedily was just able to dodge everything, and Shock didn't have an answer to it. So look, we're not going to see any swaps as we head into our next map, and I could totally see the Echo coming out here too on Paraíso.
Yeah, I mean, why not just kind of stick with it? And the only person to kind of pressure you out in that situation is like the Ana. We saw a little bit of that where Speedly was kind of shooting at Violet, making sure he had to kind of duck into cover every now and then. But the Ana, you know, you have a lot of jobs, okay? You got a lot of work to do. You can't just be shooting the Echo 24/7. But that's really the only person that was able to do it. You mentioned, of course, you could hack him if he's too low to the ground, but you need then the follow-up. It's definitely tough. I wonder if Shock have got kind of an answer to that, or even if Atlanta Reign don't run it, we can also see what they want to try out. Okay, this also might work. Proper just going to match Speedly on the Echo on their defense. Okay.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of like maybe they're approaching it like the Widowmaker versus Widowmaker. Speedily's Echo is obviously good enough that Shock may just need to match it with something. I don't know if hit scan is always the option, because I feel like people fall into this trap where, you know, like especially in your ranked games or something, like, oh, switch over to the Cassidy, like it's your job to deal with the Pharah or the Echo. And it's like, well, guess what? Sometimes you should just ignore it. Or if you can't beat them, like, you know, join them at their own game. And so if Proper's going to be on the Echo, then we're going to ignore that, Venom. It's okay. If Proper's on the Echo, then you're also forcing Atlanta Reign into this position where they have to change up the way that they play, because all of a sudden they're contending with an Arrow unit, and it's Proper of all people. So you really do need to look out for that. Got to pay that respect.
All right, let's see where Shock want to hold. Not forward by the looks of it. They do take a lot of spam, so just coaxing the Atlanta Reign near to the point looks like the aim of the game, and their supports can kind of hang out in that small room over there. But the AoE damage from Speedly is quite immense. He do just be sniping though. I mean, I didn't expect Violet to go down just from some try shots, but yeah, that just happened. Nice laser beam in the sky for Speedly for the double kill. Okay, Atlanta Reign opening this one up with a bang.
This is a composition that they're really comfortable on, too. I mean, Atlanta, for most of last week, when they played Nepal, they played Ilios. It was all Tracer, Echo, Diva, or Orisa. This Ana and the Zenyatta has been a staple for them no matter what map that they've played on. But in their win versus Toronto Defiant, it was with this comp on this map. So they're well practiced with it, and I don't know if Shock are kind of gonna be up to snuff with it either. They haven't really played much of the Echo except for on Dorado with Mikey's Wrecking Ball. So it plays way differently when you've got the Kalush Diva instead.
It's a little bit tough too. I mean, Speedy has got a lot of kind of room to move here. Proper, not so much. Can kind of spam near the payload. Stick from Striker. Oh, perfectly well timed nano boost from Ultraviolet will stop him from going down. Can he find any damage with the nano? We'll have to wait and see. He's got a right-click charge. Only hits one of those orbs by the looks of it. Kalush. Oh, he goes down to a remake. Oh, tragic. Tragic. Oh my god. He didn't even react to it. He just like, yeah, okay, go again. Anyway, team reset. Anyway, reset time.
I'm sure everybody at this point has seen what Hawk has done to like an EMPing Sombra. So like,
that's true.
I
Has
think
Hawk got the most remake kills, Rose? Surely, right?
So I'm certain at this point. I think you just take the L and you move on to third point. Apparently, Atlanta Reign now have 5 minutes and 20 seconds to get through. Holy moly, where has this map gone?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a bit of their time to ADGQ, maybe. Not sure.
Oh yeah, they might have a record here for Paraíso, especially if they like
keep it going.
Cap. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, 100%.
They could too, though. That's the scary part. Is that Venom has another pulse bomb. Speedily has the duplicate. Okay, Hawk just got demeched, but wait, does this open up another possibility for a remake kill?
He's got no, there's no way.
Surely not.
If he gets one here, I'm not gonna say I'll eat a hat because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it.
No shoey for our Aussie friend.
Oh, I'll do a shoey, sure, but I'm not physically gonna eat a hat. I will not go that far unless the hat is made out of cake.
Okay, fair enough. Who knows what's cake? Still, nowadays.
Or somgastorta. Daily Swedish word. All right, the Atlanta Reign, like you said, Rose, have got a lot of ults online. A duplicate on to Kalush, double diva. Or not so much anymore as Hawk gets demeched by Proper and the rest of the gang. Still, they have a tank online in Speedly. Can they find any efficacy with it? I'll have to wait and see. Striker setting up for a pulse, but immediately gets sniffed out by both Vigilante and Ultraviolet. A very ambitious pulse bomb, doesn't net too much, but there's a lot of things happening in the kill feed. As a Transcendence is invested by the Reign with a copy from Proper onto the Ana of all things. I mean, there was a Transcendence going off from Vigilante there, so the nade could have been kind of crazy. A free nano boost for the copy. And no speedrun record here, Rose. 3.5 minutes to go for the Reign.
No, that was like every ultimate under the sun used there too. Both Transcendences being forced out here, you're not really saving them for anything in particular on either side. I thought that Proper Ana copy was really cool. You actually got a pick with that too. That was fun to watch. We could just see Proper on every hero with Echo pick maybe. Maybe he'll take that record alongside like I don't know how many other titles this season. But huge pulse bomb there for Venom.
Jeez, that's a rarity. Strike himself getting pulse bombed. Nano boost onto Kalush to try and open this fight up more. Asleep on him and then instantly woken up, but that Discord Orb doing so much work to his mech. He's at least going to get the remake after they self-destruct, but Speedy is just dispatching with the backline. Striker gets some revenge with a spawn kill, as Speedy was basically doing the touch the spawn challenge. A late nano boost onto Hawk will still push this payload forward as it rounds the final corner. Kalush is alive, Striker too, and he has a pulse. It should be a little bit of an easier defend here, as long as Striker doesn't get his pulse bomb eaten. But no, look at that. Okay, Atlanta Reign backing up. They want to fight as 5.
Yeah, that's super smart when they still have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. But with Shock, there is a world where they can keep defending this. Striker is hunting for a target, maybe gets a chance to get some revenge onto Venom, but the best target would be getting Vigilante before that Transcendence comes online. Or it's a great way to bait out the Transcendence if it does end up becoming a necessary thing for the Reign. Oh, but Hawk eats it!
What a flick!
Oh.
What a flick from Hawk. Just eating that pulse bomb, easy peasy. He's going to go for another remake kill though, maybe. Or use that self-destruct. No, he doesn't get one. Speedly might though, he's copied into a diva. Double tanks on the field. Nice sleep onto the copy, but Shock numbers are dwindling. And with Atlanta Reign still with ults in the bank, looking unlikely they can defend. Finn unfortunately had that Transcendence just taken care of before he could use it. San Francisco Shock with, to be fair, pretty good defense on point C, Rose.
Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes plus for Atlanta Reign entering that phase. So
No, they had great response with their
You take
ultimates. And you definitely take that. I mean, you're on a hybrid map, so any little bit of stall is going to help out here, especially if you go to extra rounds. Shock probably would have liked to have obviously whittled that time bank down to 0 if they were to cap it all, but Shock now, they do have to finish the map here for any of their stall to actually matter.
All right, what you got for us on the defense? It's got to be the same thing, right? Yeah, there's. I don't think there's any way Rain end up switching now. Speedy's been doing so well on this Echo.
When you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And with the way that Speedily has been making these micro decisions to just like who he copies and how he uses that, that's amazing. Oh, the stick though. Oh, he just...
Ooh. You see Striker trying to blink into him, but Venom was still in the like recall animation. That was kind of sick. That would have been a cool double kill.
That would have been cool.
From there.
Yeah, I love the tech
on
the
pulse.
Tech from everybody has been so good. You know, Hawk's defense matrix has been really snappy when it comes to responding to like the pulse bombs that we saw, and just making sure that there's peel for Ultraviolet and Vigilante. But we're not going to see the Echo this time around here for the Shock. It's the Sombra and the Genji alongside Kalush's Diva. So bit more divey, but hey, this is the first time we're seeing the proper Genji here this
man.
Yeah, it's already working out great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hack to set up the dive, and there you go. Oh. Okay. Dives to Ultraviolet of all people, even though they had deflect up, but it must have gone down at the exact right time for Ultraviolet to kill him. Don't want to give up too many ticks. You still have supports available, Rain, for the heals. So just plonking Hawk on the point, just spamming it with heals is going to be the aim of the game. And even Venom's ult charge rate also been kind of spectacular this series so far. It's got going to have the first ultimate on the line almost, 99%. There it is. There's the ult. Pulse bomb up. And even with that initial pick onto Vigilante, the San Francisco Shock unable to get much stuff done on point A. No ticks at all.
I mean, Venom's been just kept up so nicely. Ultraviolet has been pumping healing into this player. So you have the Pulse Bomb if you really wanted to even up the playing field, but the sustain from the Rain has been so good. I mean, did you see how Venom was just juking around what Finn was throwing his direction? He missed this, you know, he bypassed the sleep dart, he bypassed the biotic grenade, and Venom still managed to pick up some pretty big picks, and now might stagger someone out here with the pulse.
Oh yeah, Finn's alone. Easy stick target. Nice recall though. Okay, knows that nade's nowhere to be found. They actually force out that beat. Proper eventually kills Venom. The beat was pretty crucial there for the Shock. They needed to use it. Vigilante only 5% away from his Transcendence, but he did end up dying. If he got that online a bit earlier, I can imagine they wanted to invest that as well to kind of match Violet, but was not to be. 2 minutes to go and a check now for the Shock on point A. Maybe even 2 ticks.
Ooh, what? Oh, no. They're coming in. They know they got the Transcendence behind them if they're able to pull this off.
Oh, but Ultraviolet dies. Maybe you don't commit here. No, Vigilante's dead. Yeah, proper kills both of the supports. Yeah, there's no way you go for anything more here. Apart from that copy self-destruct, unless it goes crazy. Another nice eat, but this time it's Kalush eating Venom's pulse bomb. The point hasn't been capped, nor has it got a second tick just yet. The San Francisco Shock just want to end the fight, get a clean cap, clean resets, and then go again.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense here. Venom just kind of squeaking by. There's a nice sleep onto Kalush to make sure that, you know, Venom is able to slip away, but Kalush played this really nicely. There's the defense matrix flick in order to eat the pulse. That was absolutely getting aimed at Violet's feet right there. So it was a great way to stop disaster. And now Shock 2, after they've uncapped this point, there's the EMP.
Oh. That almost felt too obvious. Oh, nice 45-degree sleep there. Little spin around. Are the rest of the Shock in a position where they can capitalize? I don't know if they are. Not with Venom and Speedily still kind of hanging around. Yeah, no way. Oh. Oh, tried to get mech back. Did not see proper. Hanging up on the rafters there like a gargoyle.
Just jumps down for the deflect and then goes right back up to be the gargoyle watchdog. Okay, well, Shock there, I mean, with the EMP, they're not going to make too much progress, but the card is still steadily moving. Proper can hit this Dragon Blade. You've got the Nano behind you as well. Another eat. Kaluge. Okay.
All right, Kaluge. Showing up. Like to see it. All right, they're going to Nano Blade, which is Nano the Diva. It feels like just a Nano Diva action. A trade. Not quite so equal as Violet with that speed is going to be quite useful for Proper to get on that back line. And that terrain still have a couple of volts to negate the Blade though, Rose. Even the Nano Blade, so it makes sense to use Blade then Nano the Diva, but see what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, Vigilante's held on to this EMP. Or, sorry, the Transcendence.
Oh, nice beat. It was pretty good, but Hawk's Mech still ends up going down. Self-destruct to get the re-mech as Speedly with that nano boost, did a fair amount of damage and actually earned himself a copy on top of that. Kaluge gets demech'd for the second time in that fight as Violet was there to attempt the save. Didn't quite work out for them. Just under 2 minutes to go now.
There's a lot of value too from just the nano alone. Ultraviolet giving that over to Speedily. Now Speedily is the copy to work with. Yeah, so really nice stuff where Speedily could copy Striker Sombra, maybe get an EMP online or do the Genji. But there's really nice targets for Speedily's hero pool on the side of the Shock. Maybe you could even just keep doing the Diva and have double tank. Could bring us back to the days of Overwatch 1. Don't need to use anything now. Finn's dead.
Oh, what? Oh my god. That was a sleep and a half. When you come out as Invis as someone try and hack somebody, you do glimmer real quick, so they must have seen him. Jesus, that was a nice sleep.
The reaction time for some of these players right now. Like Hawks Flicks, Ultraviolet just hitting the sleeps out of nowhere. This is why Ultraviolet made a name for himself, though, and it came out just guns a-blazing. His Ana is spectacular, and you can feel the presence of a good Ana in a match. And Ultraviolet's like definitely living up to the hype.
Ooh, EMP could be pretty big. Manual hack onto Hawk, maybe? Yeah, okay. No defense matrix to be had, but still double support's pocketing him right now as the nano gets applied. Sleep is good, and a copy onto the Ana. Not anything either of us talked about, but the Ana is pretty decent. If you can get a double nano going, that could be pretty devastating. Hawk actually LOSs, though, the rest of his team, so a nano onto Venom, but it ends up expiring as soon as that copy ends up dying off. 10 seconds to go. Shock still have the Blade, and they've got the EMP. A second nano for Speedly, but he slept in midair. A nice nade, but he stays alive, but not for too long as Violet ends up chasing him down. Proper still needs to find value with this Blade. Even just to force the Transcendence might be good enough.
Yeah, force the Transcendence now, then Striker can go in with the EMP.
There it is. Transcendence forced. It is an overtime. The payload is contested. EMP available when it comes out. A beat from the San Francisco Shock. They're throwing everything in, and they're going to need to. They're in OT, pushing that second point. The Atlanta Reign don't really have a hope of coming back from this one. Not now. Hawk and Vigilante are dead. Second point unlocked. And now with a minute and 25 to get to that third.
Yeah, a huge stall coming in from the Reign, and I know Vigilante and Proper held on to their ultimates for what felt like forever, but it was the right thing to do for Vigilante. I mean, you wanted to make sure that you had that available for either the EMP or the Dragon Blade. You missed an opportunity for both of, like, at least the EMP a while back, so you're now on pace again to have that if another EMP or Dragon Blade come online. But it's less than a minute remaining, and so we're really looking at Shock with the ultimate economy here. Can Kaluge get something done here with the Diva? The Nano?
Looks like it. Nano, Speedy dead. Okay. Overtime is looking like the goal here for the Shock. I mean, with 35 seconds to go. Wow, Finn just dies to Venom. Oh, God, that's not great. I will be real. That is not good. The Atlanta Reign can force them into OT, so they're not going to get another attack. This is not looking great. And Atlanta Reign's ultimate's coming online. Nano boost soon for Ultraviolet.
Speedily got like to 3 HP. Got healed back up though, so that was a great hack from Striker. But Striker right now is racing against the clock to get this EMP online and at least keep Shock in the fight. Atlanta Reign have over a minute though, so Shock, they gotta play for the draw.
Oh, he just came back from spawn, Venom. You're really gonna do him like that? Pulse Bomb kills the Ana. The blade's been pulled. Proper's the final hope for the San Francisco Shock from finishing this map, but it's not going to happen. The Atlanta Reign with a 2-0 in the series thus far. Looking like they're going to hand Shock their 4th loss of the season. What an absolute show up right now. I mean, Venom and Speely just doing Lord's work on the DPS right now, and Hawk. In fact, the entire lineup for the Atlanta Reign just outperforming the Shock toe for toe.
I mean, it's just so surprising to see the Echo find so much value as well, because Atlanta Reign are really the only team to be utilizing it like this. So how is Shock gonna answer it? They gotta figure it out now, and it's gonna have to be before Atlanta close out the series next map.
Man, what was that stat Johnny said? Probably get it in the break, but God, Shock's 4th loss in a row. This has not
Since
been
2018.
their not been their meta. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Can they do it? They might break a record of their own, you know, which is a pretty scary prospect. Shock have been doing so well all season, and they need to round it out with something big. They're in the playoffs, so that's good enough, but they want more. They are the San Francisco Shock after all. We'll have to wait and see if they can come back, make it a reverse sweep after the break.
Overwatch League champions! Whoever said lightning doesn't strike twice has never met the San Francisco Shock. Just a depth of talent on their roster that can't be denied.
Some of the most hardcore carry performances that I've ever seen.
This is going to be a wild ride.
Somehow Violet's going to come to the rescue, get a double kill. Kalu says, how about that one, Chief? See you later.
Dude, his aim is so crispy.
Finn doesn't miss those. Holy cow.
Sam straights the backline, insta-killing.
Oh, Mikey! San Francisco, the greatest team in Overwatch.
Hey, welcome back. The time has come to see your heroes rise at Grand Finals. Tickets are on sale right now for November 3rd and 4th. Get your tickets to overwatchleague.com/2022/playoffs. Yeah, you can go there and get tickets. It's going to be a good time. Me and Rose are going to be there, so yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to see the crowd back in action. And wow, 5th year of the Overwatch League.
Whew.
It go crazy, Rose. It go kind of crazy.
I mean,
and this year, go kind of quick, I will say. Oh my word. We are already approaching playoffs. I remember, obviously, at the start of the season, we first time casting together, and I was like, oh, you know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a long year, and now we're almost there.
It's almost over.
It's insane.
I know.
It's insane stuff. Do you know what was also quite quick?
The series?
Best segue ever. Whoa, the series.
I stole it from you. Sorry.
You did it. No, it's, I mean,
I was just being predictive. I wasn't calling the series short.
Good. You're reading my mind.
Chat, don't flame me.
That's good.
Flame Joss. That was his thought first.
That's fine. I mean, look, the Shock don't want this series to be quick, okay? They want to win. They don't want to end up with their 4th loss of the season. 4th loss in a row, sorry, the 5th loss of the season.
It'd be 5 losses in a row,
Junkertown.
actually. If you want to consider, like, the regular season where Dallas at the very last
in the tournament
match. Well, no, because Dallas beat them and snapped their streak right before we went into the Summer Showdown. And so technically it'd be their 5th regular season loss in a row. Let's hope we don't get there, though. We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, thoughts from a San Francisco Shock fan, best not thinking about. So, yeah, wipe that from your brain. Shock fans, don't worry. Don't worry. We go again. We're on Junkertown, and we're on the defense. For the Shock, that is. The Atlanta Reign on the offense. We were speaking in the break, Rose, saying how Proper has, like, not played a crazy amount of Echo this year. So we're seeing him stray away from that on this map. Although you don't normally play the aerial characters, you know, like Fire Echo or whatever.
I wouldn't.
It's quite easy sightline. So he's flexing over to the Sojourn instead. And Striker, well, he's on Tracer.
Yeah, okay. So I think that this makes a lot of sense. I mean, Speedly's not even going to be coming out with the Echo either. This map of Junkertown is historically for snipers, and so you might expect that you could see a Widowmaker on the other side, and you don't want to just run into that and make a mistake. Wow, Ultraviolet, you just got hit in the head with a rock.
You gotta love the downtown rocks.
The
best thing is when you throw them up in the air and then
Yeah.
they crash back down to earth like a meteor and crush somebody. Nice hack. There's the, not necessarily speed, you don't have a Lucio, but there's the run down a Kaluge or attempted one. But Violet playing the Batiste. Immortality field quite valuable to the Shock front line. Oh, wow. Oh, Striker getting taken out there. A little bit of a jump scare for him.
Yeah, where was Vigilante? I wouldn't have expected that either. I know it's spooky season now, but geez.
Yeah. Yeah, you do be on the flank, though. Yeah, there's no real hope for you there, Kaluge, unfortunately. There's 15 different people shooting at you from every single angle possible. Striker and Finn still put their names on the board. The Atlanta Reign without supports, a little bit worse for wear. I mean, as long as Violet and Finn just exist on the battlefield without getting hindered by Venom or Speedly, they should be okay to sustain. Like, Violet's ability to escape using those Exo boots like that is going to be key to their
I mean, the Zenyatta Baptiste look from the Shock was successful on Control Center, and especially when you're going to be playing grouped up around these buildings, and even just to have access to each other with the high ground too, this makes sense. I mean, Violet has been hitting some great immortality fields, and the burst healing too. Like, look, Kaluge is not dying!
Nah. Well, he might die now. There's a lot of focus fire. Lamp comes out just in time. Didn't manage to eat that pulse bomb. You saw Venom trying to time the eat. Didn't end up working out, so he just throws it straight into the black hole.
Kaluge just doesn't die. This is a great defense from the Shock. They're going to have 4 ultimates online. The Transcendence in response to Speedily CMP. Kalush just could go aggro and hit a Gravitic Flux onto the Rain. And Hawk can't defense matrix that. And that's, I think, the best thing about the Shock is that, well...
There's EMP. Manual hack. Lamp's already been burnt, and it's dead. Kalush in trouble. Tries to throw a Brock. Doesn't quite get it even off before he ends up going down. There you go. That's all the Atlanta Reign needed to break their defense. Just a solid EMP.
Okay, Speedily.
I get a nice stagger here onto Proper, too.
Yeah, I mean, Speedily, fine. I'm just going to shut up and not make the point. They're just going to cap. Okay, cool. Nope.
Oh. Well, Transcendence from Finn's good. I mean, they know they have Kalush. Uh-oh. I mean, yeah.
They could
Okay,
have.
the Flux didn't end up going off. Unfortunate. And with Finn dead, it should be it. Venom still doing work with this Tracer. 2v1 in the backline. Atlanta Reign, they're going to get that checkpoint in just a moment. Although Striker and Proper still making this competitive. No, okay. Hawk's there, don't worry.
Yeah, I don't... Unfortunately, yeah, Hawk is just a little bit too beefy as D.Va to get taken out by a Sojourn like that. But Kalush sees the value of the D.Va on point B as well. The Sigma was nice, though, to start off this round. I thought that it was great at creating space for proper Sojourn. And, you know, I think the D.Va just as well can follow up on the damage that Striker's going to be trying to put down in the back line. So a nice evolution of the composition here for the Shock.
Oh, nose ray recall. Is he going to go for another cheeky pulse? We'll have to wait and see. Violent Venom end up dying. Hawk's nanos, well, when he receives the nanos, just does so much damage. Striker sees his opening though without a defense matrix guarding Ultraviolet. He takes him out with a pulse bomb. Self-destruct in the small room. Oh, Striker takes him down. Self-destruct doesn't find anything. No remit kills for you this time either, Hawk. Good defense so far from the Shock.
No, it's good though for Hawk to do that because he was basically, you know, kind of pushing Shock backwards, hoping that maybe the rest of his team could go in for some follow-up, but really right now it's about creating enough of a distraction for Speedily to go in and let this EMP loose. Finn does not have the Transcendence yet, and the Immortality Field might not be enough to save them either if Violet gets caught in the EMP.
All right, Violet could be quite deadly with this window, and he's set up with Proper and Finn. So they just have to dodge EMP, because the window does break or disappear when it is EMP'd. Nice lamp. This stronghold that they've set up is quite extraordinary. And these long sight lines too is really going to just enable Proper and Violet, to be fair, just put down some major damage.
Yeah, that was amazing heads-up play. Ah, poor. Okay.
Oh no, it's okay.
Maybe not too long of a stagger. At this point, I think you just want to get rid of him. Like you don't want Hawk
baby D.Va. By the way, just melee Kalush out of mech.
Yeah. That's you just have to. If you don't get rid of him, then he's gonna just do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't stagger him for too long.
Oh.
That'll help though. All right, Kalush can get back in mech now. That was a nice pick on the Vigilante. Keep him at bay for a little bit longer.
Final fight approaching though, Rose. Speedy on Genji now, like you said. But 4 ultimates for the Shock looks almost unwinnable, but never say never. As both support ultimates are online almost for the Atlanta Reign.
Yeah, you can use the Nano here, maybe get Speedily a Dragon Blade, or just Nano Hawk again and make him absolutely, yeah, invincible.
Fortunate miss there from Striker as Hawk is nanoed once more. Kalush's mech didn't stand a chance, but neither did Hawks, to be fair. Both using self-destruct to get the remech as Proper unleashes that railgun. Does get slept, but he took care of Ultraviolet before that ended up happening. A reflect kill from Speedily kills Violet. Proper with a little team kill there, as Atlanta Reign is still pushing the payload. Now the Transcendence is going to help them survive for a little bit longer, but Ultraviolet's coming back on the Lucio, so they need to end this fight, and they need to end it now. But with Kalush alive and well, and him focusing down Vigilante, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to do just that. Ultraviolet and their DPS are on the point, and it's only Finn to defend. The Atlanta Reign, by the skin of their teeth, capped that second point.
That was so close. I mean, Ultraviolet coming back on the Lucio too. You give up all of that extra healing there from the Ana, as well as those tools in her kit like the Sleep Dart. Now that they've unlocked that point, though, can't go back to the Ana here, but this reflex kill from Speedily was trying to go after. Yeah, I mean, like, look at that.
I mean, that didn't even look intentional, to be fair. It was just reflecting in your face.
Yeah, he was just trying to get out of dodge,
nice.
But it worked out that he was able to kill Violet through Finn's Transcendence, no less. And now Reign, too. They can go in with the Dragon Blade. Venom's got another Pulse Bomb, but Kalush has been pretty hungry this series. So that Pulse Bomb might not hit its mark.
Oh, wow. Venom just falls over like that, huh? Okay, there's the Dragon Blade from Speedling, instantly shut down from Kalush. That mech arm being quite formidable versus that blade. Pretty dull when you don't have the nano. Pretty rough. All right, 20 seconds to go. Familiar sight for the Atlanta Reign now as they need to get back onto that payload.
Yeah, so a lot of it is going to be Venom trying to get a Pulse Bomb. Kalush could just get the eat, though. And there's a lot of sustainability for both teams because Kalush and Hawk will both have the ability to get back into mech with the ultimate available. But Violet, oh, with the Amplification Matrix, you can't even get close to that right now.
Someone did manage to touch, I believe it was Venom, and then hit the recall real quick. Yeah, he doesn't want to get one-tapped. Pulse Bomb in the hand of Venom, however, as the payload is just still being contested. They waited out long enough for Violet's Amplification Matrix to fall. The Striker's now getting crushed out by the enemy Tracer. Hawk gets run over, and with that self-destruct not landing anybody, the San Francisco Shock looking to hold the cart right here. A Transcendence keeps them alive, I suppose, but the Shock still have Kalush up with the self-destruct, and there you go. All right, overtime. But down, the Atlanta Reign with 2 points on the board and some meters to go. So the Shock, they know the exact meterage in which they need to keep themselves in the series.
That was really nice play from the Shock, too, in the overtime situation. Ultraviolet actually used the Nano for Hawk's Baby Diva to try to keep him alive, but Shock just not allowing Hawk to get any value from that. And I think that Shock have been able to respond to these ultimates way better as the series has progressed. But you take a look at how they were playing around like Speedily's Echo duplicates before, there wasn't a great way to focus fire that down. But now that the Echo, one, it's not a part of the equation, but two, I feel like Shock have just finally found their footing in this match versus the Reign. They have way better answers. It's not even about the EMPs anymore either from Speedily. They've just been kind of playing around the buildings on the map to deal with it instead of just investing a Transcendence. So I like that Shock are getting more for less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make perfect sense. You don't want to overinvest in a fight, especially when you're nearing that third point. You want to finish it quite clean. You need those team wipes because the points, the spawn points are so close as well, right? Let's see what Shock have on their offense. Looks like it's going to be the same thing. So they're pretty happy with Violet going over to the BAB. And the rate that they've been targeted, it makes sense. And to help Kalush out with the lamp too, it's also pretty nice. We've seen some clutch lamps from Violet already.
Exactly, and I think with the shield from Sigma, playing it on the attack, you just constantly create space for your team. So it's a very steady amount of pressure being forced onto the Reign, where they're really the ones that have to start setting the pace now. And woo, woo, woo. Do you see Finn?
There you go. Well, I didn't see much of Speedly, that's for sure. He instantly died, but Atlanta Reign still turned this one around. It was a nice little 180. To kill Speedly, but they're not able to capitalize off it much. Atlanta Reign's their collapses have been so good.
So Speedily hacks the target, everybody's in position, and then they go ahead and just pounce. And Hawk too, like, I just think with the defense matrix, you're not really able to deal enough damage to like Venom or Speedily when Hawk is there to just back you up. They're playing it so well together as a unit.
Yeah. It's definitely Atlanta Reign's one of their biggest strengths, of course. Individual-wise, too. They have a lot of skill there, but their ability to play as a unit is paramount to their success. As Hawk with the nano once more, pushing Violet away. He didn't even have a lamp. He used that a little bit earlier on in the fight, and yeah, the Shock unable to really help everybody. Kaluj is in the front line, and you can see Hawk, because Kaluj doesn't have mobility, Rose, he just literally shifts through him like to get on top of Violet, because then Finn was in trouble too. It was, yeah, real rough, and Atlanta Reign just a singular mind now. They've melded together.
Well, Hawk just puts so much confidence into Ultraviolet and Vigilante as well. When you know you're playing with an Ana like Ultraviolet, you can go in super aggressively when you're safe, when you feel safe and you feel confident. Venom 2, just like another stagger onto the Shock. It's buying time for Speedily to get this EMP online for the next...
Finn's 1 HP.
I saw, oh my god, the Immortality field.
Oh, nice reaction trans there from Finn. Heard the decloak of the Sombra, but still forcing out ults is good. A Transcendence to counteract this flux as Venom does fall across the map. Now, what can Hawk to do to level this playing field? A lot less defensive tools available for the Shock right now. Oh, Hawk gets rocked off of the map. Dear Lord, he's going to fill that one later. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Very familiar. Like, again, this is it.
Huh?
Hello? Striker, you want to tell us where that went? You want to tell us where that went?
He's like smiling. He knows what he did.
You wanna tell us where that went? Yeah. Okay.
Oh no,
Cool.
that's actually tragic, because you'd love to be able to have that now for
sad.
the defense that Reign are going to come back with here.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't
that
know
really
if they
does
need
suck.
it though. Yeah, no, they're fine.
Doesn't look like it, yeah.
They're fine.
All good. Didn't need it anyway. It's just an ego thing. Just whack it there. We didn't need it. It's all good.
Replay?
Are we gonna get a replay? God bless you, observers. The true kings and queens
Oh,
of
he
Overwatch.
fat
Like,
fingered
what was
it.
that?
No, he
Did he,
fat
though?
fingered it. Was he looking for Speedily?
Did he?
That would have been insane. That would have been absolutely insane if he just like
The best
stuck
predictive stick of
cloaking
all time.
Sombra. Like, we've seen some bonkers stuff on Junkertown, to be fair. Like Backbone hitting the Invis Sombra with the
Yeah,
Hanzo
that's true.
arrow. Like, it's
Yeah,
just been
yeah.
Junkertown. It's been absolutely nuts. But it's
Junkertown
fine.
makes you feel something different.
It's fine. It's fine. Striker's gonna have another pulse bomb in about like, I don't know, 10 seconds. So.
As always, with the good comes with the bad comes with the good. So yeah, no worries. Striker's got one in the moment. There's Nano onto Hawk once again as he tries to run down Violet. Look at the low health bars. Pulse bomb thrown in, doesn't find too much, but actually erasing the lamp might be good enough for them. However, Vigilante's now in a little bit of trouble. Another nice E from Hawk once again, taking care of Striker's pulse bombs. 2 for 2 now, Striker. Unfortunate. That one, though, did get negated. So, yeah, you didn't throw that one away, technically.
No, we'll see a little, an attempt at an escape from Hawk and Ultraviolet. They're stuck here. Oh my god,
Ring
this is a
around the
huge
Rosie.
stagger.
Yeah. Nothing you can do. They just got run around, like, they just got chased. Like they're in a haunted maze.
That gives so much time for Shock, though. Good on them. Look at that. They've got over 3 minutes now to make it to their mark, and it's right around the corner. Jack, they can taste it. Maybe a map 4 on the horizon.
You know, definitely hope so. I mean, thinking about the ults, like Kaluj with the Flux, you can use the Sojourn ult too in amongst that to snipe people out of the air because they're basically standing still. Almost, they jiggle a little bit, but you can just snipe people out. Finn's got the Transcendence. Not really too much to counter it. Could just go with the counter Transcendence if Vigilante goes aggressive with his. That's a good start, though. Killing Speedy like that.
Big. Yeah, that's really big. I mean, Speedily just wants to get the EMP online. I might not even get a chance to get there, though. Shock, yeah, they've got so much to be able to throw at this final fight. They are meters away here from taking us to a map 4.
Ooh, nice bit of defense work by Kaluj. Even used that lamp. In fact, a lot of things used. Kaluj used hands, trying to get any incoming damage. The lamp was invested by Violet. Transcendence from Finn. Striker ends up going down to a volley and Speedy just focusing him out. Hawk with not too much done with that nano. They do trade their tracers. Both of them will be back in just a moment, but Shock making a big rotation onto this high ground, Rose.
Yeah, and you can't really send Hawk up there to try to contest for them either, although he is going to walk up the stairs, try to force them out.
Oh.
Transcendence?
Yeah, Transcendence forced by the pulse bomb there from Striker. I can imagine I heard a stick off camera. Finn dead. Proper trying to end this right now. Ultraviolet's one. There's 2 on Vigilante, both supports. Speedly's 4.
Proper?
Can they get another one? Oh, Proper gets 5. Okay, Proper. There you
Actual
go.
Proper
That's how you start the reverse sweep. Actual Proper, backpack open, the rest of them inside of it. The San Francisco Shock keep themselves in the series. The Atlanta Reign failed to defend there.
Oh my god, yeah, we're going on map 4. Yeah, Proper's Overclock actually just won them that map. It's no surprise that you guys can't see it, but it is the play of the game. That's the Proper we all know and love.
Got a little 4 there, you take those. Wasn't quite 5, it was 4. God damn. Proper. San Francisco Shock keep themselves alive. And now the Reign, oh, they just got to play upset here. They got another 2 maps to kind of juggle with. We'll see where we go after this break.
There's just so much talent in the league. It is time to announce the Overwatch League MVP nominees.
Season 5 of the Overwatch League has brought with it a new era of Overwatch and a new wave of MVP candidates.
Ooh! No way does he win that! Are you serious? That's what you want to see!
Your 2022 Overwatch League MVP nominees are Lip from the Shanghai Dragon.
Oh, Lip! It's sweet music to our ears!
Hanbin from the Dallas Fuel.
Hanbin is a one-man army at the front!
Kai from the Atlanta Rain.
The hit scan legend Killer AI, it's Mr. Kai.
Smurf from the Seoul Dynasty.
This is two-time champion Smurf.
Oh,
That is disgusting.
That's just-
so good.
Kevster from the Los Angeles Gladiators.
Oh my, that's perfect from Kevster.
Hardy from the London Spitfire.
What a slam! That's filthy. That's Hardy for you.
Zest from the Philadelphia Fusion.
Zest is Hunty!
No one can stop Zest. He's a burglar.
Proper from the San Francisco Shock.
Proper has arrived.
It could be one of the greatest rookie performances we've ever seen.
Prophet from the Seoul Dynasty.
And who's going to carry Hardy? It's going to be Prophet. What can you do when Prophet is this good?
And Shu from the Los Angeles Gladiators.
Shu making a name for himself.
How does he keep doing this?
The winner will be determined by you, along with Overwatch League casters, teams, and the media. Use the hashtag OWLMVP on Twitter and tag your favorite player by their Twitter handle or in-game tag. You can also cast your vote by going to overwatchleague.com/MVP.
What is happening? Oh! Somebody stop him!
Who will be your Overwatch League 5th season MVP? Help decide and cast your vote today. Voting ends October 10th.
Welcome back. There is one of your MVP candidates, Proper. Clutch that map out at the very end of it, Rose, to keep San Francisco Shock in the series.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is a great reason why.
This is a certified Proper moment. Like, straight up. Dude's just a menace. Absolute menace.
Yeah, like this was play
Nice-
of the
nice little
game,
4K.
in-game. Proper is like player of the season right now, it feels like. That's a ridiculous amount of hero damage.
12k, so almost 13k. Deaths are up there, but you'd expect them to be. Got the 4k at the end. Bruh. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. If he's not MVP, he's definitely Rookie of the Year in my books currently. To wait and see what I'm curious what the fans think. I think a lot of fans are going to be behind Proper regardless of kind of performances from Shock recently. But there's a lot of good candidates out there, to be fair, too. Obviously, Hanbin's name has been tossed around a lot, even today, for his exceptional tank play. So, yeah, let's see if Proper and the gang can keep themselves in. We are going to Colosseo next. There are no substitutions. So we'll see how Shock want to handle this one. Can they rely on Proper going kind of crazy again?
Well,
Kalush is also someone that's performed very well on the San Francisco Shock, again coming in as a rookie. But Hawk on the D.Va has just been turning into mincemeat.
well, there's two things here. One, Colosseo is definitely better sightlines for Sojourn. So if we see Proper play the Sojourn, then that definitely is a leg up for the Shock. The flip side of that is that D.Va is one of Hawk's best heroes. I think that might be his best hero. Like, think about the golden days of Hawk and Gator playing next to each other with the D.Va and the Reinhardt. Hawk was always there. He understands this hero inside and out, and with Overwatch 2, the rework doesn't make her that different in terms of how she plays. It's just her HP pool, which is a little bit different. Otherwise, though, kind of same old, and Hawk really does understand the intricate tech of this hero.
Also a little bit more armor, I do believe, as well. So, yeah, it just makes it more chunky. I mean, you kind of need to, especially in Overwatch 2. All right, so same look from both teams, pretty much. got on this Sojourn and the Tracer, and then Kalush playing the Sigma, and then Violet on the back. That's what they found success with on Junkertown. So very different architecture, though, like you were saying. Right?
I think the one thing that makes me a little nervous about the Sigma is just that it's slower to play. You have a steady engage forward if you're able to kind of keep up that pressure, but other than that, you know, Venom, Speedily, Hawk, they all have the ability to get behind your shield and hunt after somebody like Finn or Violet. You're really relying on Proper here to open things up.
And he does just that. You called it pretty correct on the first half of the first part of this map, right? There are long sight lines, and that's what you've got to utilize. Proper perfectly setting the San Francisco shot up for this first fight win to get that bot going.
Yeah, Hawk's gonna have to go take a reset there. Shock, yeah, off to a great start. Venom, too, getting taken out here. I know it's a Tracer, but it still buys Shock some really valuable time. They would love to be able to shut down this staircase and this bridge before Atlanta Reign make their way back. And if Violet's able to get set up, too, maybe you get this amplification matrix online, and then first checkpoint's yours.
Nice nade from Ultraviolet there. Bit of a free ult charge for you. Yeah, I think Shock are pretty happy with this push. They got, what, 35 meters in a little bit. So now they just have to decide really where they go from here. Kalush, of course, being a lot better in these long sight lines where he can just throw those hyperspheres. Nano already on Hawk as they try to up the ante, but Ultraviolet was super low in the back. He must have taken a body shot from Proper, but Hawk getting absolutely destroyed by those right clicks. From the Sojourn, but it's only Striker alive left on the point, battling with the Baby Diva. Baby Diva versus the Tracer. Speedly's there for backup, so they will take him out and get the bot going.
Yeah, I mean, you just have... Well, you have a Speedily Genji in a very closed-off area of the map, and I feel like we all know how Genji in small spaces works. Not well for the other team, but... Ooh, Reign have to back off.
Kind of blows. Oh, that also kind of blows.
Pause?
Little pause. Yeah, they were trying pretty hard there to stop Hawk from getting mech, shield, just playing LOS and stuff, and he was just desperate. And you're always going to see the Diva kind of free-firing, or the Baby Diva, the Pilot Diva, free-firing. So pretty easy setup there for Finn to hit that right click.
True.
Staggers them a whole bunch too, which is nice. Not sure what the pause is, by the way. Hopefully we'll get into the game ASAP.
Yeah, you're right, though, that it does help with the stagger. Hawk has to wait to come back, and then by that point, Shock have caught back up to the progress that they've made so far, and they're about to hit that first checkpoint. Speaking of ultimate economy, too, I mean, we have Speedily's Dragon Blade that's going to be ready to go. We're about to hop back into game, so you'll have the visual, too. You'll be able to see what we're talking about. And then the overclock from Proper, though, that's really what I have my eyes on right now. That closed out Junkertown for San Francisco Shock. They're about to play on this straightaway where Kalush is going to be able to grab a ton of space for Proper to be able to navigate through. And that could be really, really big. Get them that first checkpoint.
It's still a fair amount away, but making good progress and putting Proper on the high ground is very important for them. And not having to use an ult too, which is kind of nice. So yeah, they get, what, like a couple of meters, if that. Not bad though, not bad. You're in a better position at least. Oh, hello. A little Solar Blade, Okay. Transcendence still used, in fact, by the San Francisco Shock, but Proper's now on the high ground with a good look onto Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet's going to duck into that small cafe as Proper decides better of it. Doesn't really want to dice, especially as Hawk was right there. Going to use those thrusters in just a moment, I would have imagined. Vigilante in a little bit of trouble as Ultraviolet falls. The San Francisco Shock maybe a little bit mad after the first two maps. They're taking this one with ease right now. These fights look a bit too easy for them. Speedy takes care of Proper, but the rest of his team is already dead. Their checkpoint so close for Shock now.
Yeah, they're just going to probably cap it here. What do Reign really have to come back on? Oh, okay, wow, a pretty big swap up here for the Reign. Going off of the Diva onto the Winston. Gonna send Venom in to be able to touch the cart. It does buy time for Hawk to get there before that checkpoint is captured.
Striker getting marked there by Venom, who's looking for an opening with the pulse bomb. Yeah, that checkpoint wasn't quite unlocked, only a couple of meters to go. Yeah, change up for Hawk onto the Winston, like you said, Rose. It's good to engage with Venom and Speedly, but he does get burnt quite quickly. As soon as you have used that bubble, the Sigma kind of rolls you, or rocks you, whichever way you want to say it.
Yeah, you might get an accretion to the face, that's for sure. But you know, I think the other thing about the Winston is that you get at least to create more space in the Diva. But,
right.
yeah, wow.
What happened there? Not sure how Venom died, but he died quick. Striker's been hacked. Focus fire from the Lantern Rain is good, but still. The backline for the San Francisco Shock right now, just immortal. Of course I say that in Findai. Look, Violet is immortal on the map.
Seriously though, like figuratively and literally, you know, Violet has not really died much in this series so far, and it also has the immortality field to use for the team or use it a little bit more selfishly. With the Sombra though, Kalush is gonna have to be really careful playing in the front line. You could just shut off that shield completely.
The Ranger's not finding anything at all. That was like a good engagement on Kalush. He instantly got lamped. He was antied. Like, yeah, it was tough for them to take him down. Stick from Striker. San Francisco Shock firmly back in this game, you'd imagine. Yeah, Ultraviolet misses the sleep. It looks like an easy double kill for the Tracer. And it is the San Francisco Shock putting up a mean fight. The Atlanta Reign really not seeing this left hook coming, it feels like. Even Venom has to back up. He's not really got much health to fight with, and even Striker chasing him down. There's no health bag. Where's Striker? Where's he lurking? Okay, he backed off the rest of his team, but still, Venom a little bit scared there, shaking in his boots.
I would be for sure. I mean, you're waiting for the health pack, you're waiting for your teammates, you're all alone, nowhere to go. Trying to find a way into the backline with the pulse bomb. Oh, Vigilante has the Transcendence too, so maybe this is what Rain need to finally start making some progress. It's been over 6 minutes!
Kalush with another clutch eat on a pulse bomb. Venom's ones have not been good this round. There's the Flux, goes to force the Transcendence from Vigilante. San Francisco Shock still just putting up a brick wall in front of the Atlanta Reign. It's not getting demolished. Sledgehammer's pulled out by Vigilante though, as he takes care of Kalush and Proper. Finally, they're going to get this bot going, but with only 3 minutes, I guess the saving grace here for the Atlanta Reign is the bot, realistically, at this point of the game, isn't that far along.
No, it's not. I mean,
like no checkpoint.
Yeah, Shock hasn't gotten a single checkpoint yet, despite being there a few times. So many ultimates being used for that fight, but it's really everything on Speedily now. The EMP maybe getting the first checkpoint of the match. Kalush actually switching over to the Diva. Big switch ups here.
EMP available for Speedly.
There it is.
This is a big momentum play if he can get a good one, but Hawk is already dead. I mean, do you even go now? I don't think you do. You just kind of have to wait unless you see a giant opening. They've seen it. They want it. They do kill Finn, but is it enough? Vigilante and Venom are already dead, so you have no Discord, you have no follow-up with the Tracer. That EMP pretty much wasted on the Atlanta Reign side. The San Francisco Shock taking it in their stride. 38 meters to 58, 20 separates, but with Shock in control of the bot, that checkpoint's so close, Rose.
No, that was such a waste of the EMP. You were hoping to even at least get you know, more progress than the Shock take over the lead, but 2 people were down already. Maybe Speedily wasn't paying attention to how much health Vigilante had left, but oh my god, Kalush, stop it! That's like 5 pulse bombs.
Oh, eaten. And Hawk gets an E2. Oh, Tracer's not getting any value at all, especially not Venom, now he's dead. Nano onto Hawk. This is how they found success before, and they might just do it here. Violet falls to the overwhelming presence of Hawk. But San Francisco Shock not out of the fight. That bot is still moving in their favor. Checkpoint on the horizons. Venom comes back from spawn, takes care of Kalush, stops the bot just before that first checkpoint. With a minute and a half to go, still a pretty close affair.
It is super, super close. At this point, Rain need 2 team fights to take back, or actually just take control. They haven't had control. Shock have been in the driver's seat this entire map. They have the Transcendence, they've got the Overclock, plenty of ways to zone Atlanta Reign off of this, but Vigilante also has a Transcendence. So a pretty good way to get back into this one too. Speedily actually with the EMP last time, but is 60% towards another one. Does Finn use the Transcendence here, or does he hold on to it? We're down to the wire, 45 seconds left. We might see a Transcendence used from Shock, and then no answer for Speedily's EMP.
Yeah, it's 20% away at this point. All right, Proper, it's your time again. You saved your team on Junkertown. Can you do it once more? Speedly goes down for one. Vigilante Ultraviolet is in his sight. Same with Vigilante. He can't quite get enough damage off, but the rest of his team might have just done. Finn with the kill onto Venom is pretty big. Rain lack damage at this point, and with no pulse bomb, they lack the ability to maybe turn this fight around. Their supports are backed up against the wall. A Transcendence from the Shock, because Speedy doesn't even have this EMP online just yet. Proper comes up with another kill on Ultraviolet. With 10 seconds to go, the Shock might keep themselves in this series.
They're gonna do it, absolutely. I mean, Hawkett's team necked here. We come back to the neutral. Overtime is activated, but there's nobody from the Reign to come back and touch.
Nobody here. The San Francisco Shock keep themselves alive. Map 5 banger, of course it had to be. Proper didn't come alive in the end. It was an entire collective of the Shock that kept themselves in that one. Quite close at the very end, Rose. Atlanta Reign want to stop that reverse sweep from happening, though.
They just, I don't know how this one's going to end, honestly. Like, San Francisco have come up clutch. Everybody's, you know, plugged in, ready to go. But Reign, I don't know. That Shock have been in this map 5 position before, and they faltered to the Washington Justice, no less. So what's going to happen against the Reign?
Don't know. We'll have to find out after the break. It's going to be a banger. We're going back to Control after this. Map number 5, because it had to be the San Francisco Shock and the Atlanta Reign. At loggerheads right now, pretty scary stuff for Shock when they went on to Junkertown, but Proper came to the rescue. A Sojourn 4K set them up for this map number 5. It felt like Coliseum, again, pretty damn close. This is, yeah, I feel like it's a familiar sight for both teams at this point. But you mentioned before we went to break, Rose, that yeah, Shock have been in this position before, and they went down to the Washington Justice. I don't want to call things too early here. So, yeah, map number 5, maybe a little bit of a curse for them. But they don't want to think about it like that.
Well, this stage, maybe. I mean, San Francisco Shock at this point have had some falters that we weren't expecting from them. You know, they went to a map 5 versus the Washington Justice for their first match of this stage, and usually they come out on top. That was the 5th time that they had gone to a map 5 versus Washington Justice. It just looked like their luck had run out. But Atlanta Reign too, I mean, it's been a lot of map 5s, I think, for both teams this season. Still remembering how Atlanta, they got bested by Houston Outlaws on Oasis, I want to say. They just... No, it was Ilios, because they got off of, well. And then Houston capped underneath their noses. But hey, Oasis.
Yeah, that was... I mean, that will go down in Overwatch League history. That series, or that, well, not even the series, just that
map.
Movement. The most ridiculous, like, C9 kind of, like, point cap of all time. Gave us the very famous Hawk Despair face. Definitely one of my favorite moments, I think, from this year. Especially since we casted that one too. That was very fun.
That's true.
Very fun moment to be a part of.
Another map.
All right, remember how at the start of the series, or what feels like an age ago at this point, it was a 2-1 in Atlanta Reign's favor. Shock capped 100-0 on round 1. Atlanta Reign 100-0 on round 2. And then round 3, it was a little bit of percent on either side, but Reign didn't take it in the end.
They did. The one thing that was really the biggest thorn in San Francisco Shock's side was the Echo. Couldn't do anything against the Echo that speedily brought out against them on Gardens or Market. And Oasis City Center is a great place to see the Echo come out to play once again. So speedily will start out on that hero, but Shock are also prepared. They're going to be going with a dive of their own here.
A bit more to deal with the Echo this time, with Proper hitting these these railgun shots.
Yeah,
you have to actually build up towards it first, though. And shooting Kaluge is probably the best thing to do if you want to do that. Let's have a look how Shock do navigate this point. The Atlanta Reign haven't... I mean, Venom just got absolutely rolled. Just a headshot and a body shot from Finn. You know the vibes. Shock end up capping first.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I mean, Vigilante's been popping off on the Zenyatta, but let's give some credit to Finn and Violet, the backline of the Shock. You know, Violet's Batiste has been really spectacular with the Immortality fields, and then Finn, too, coming up clutch with these Transcendences and also just having true aim in this match. How are Reign going to come back into this? I mean, the Echo's going to have to find some value, but Violet, Finn, Proper, they all act as checks to this hero this time.
And a boost onto Hawk. Oh, the supports from the Shock just running away. Another eat. Dude, how many pulse bombs have been in this series so far? Kaluge just scoops up one from Venom. Does get demexed for it, though. San Francisco Shock is still controlling. This point's pretty tough to cap, Rose. Worth keeping in mind that the amount of time you can spend on the point just running around people is a little bit ridiculous. Striker throws a pulse out. Doesn't get eaten, just misses. The Atlanta Reign do manage to scoop up a few kills of their own. They're going to get the flip.
All right, there you go. Yeah, full team wipe should do it, and that'll stop Shock at 59% capture progress. A few ultimates used there, too. I mean, getting the amplification matrix out of Violet is going to feel really nice. Kaluge, though, was this the eat? Yeah.
He wasn't even aiming at him. He was. He heard the tracer. I mean, blinked around.
Yeah, you still have to have the heads up though that Venom had to have one online.
10 ults negated, by the way. This series so far.
What?
Shout out to production. Thank you. Yeah, so a little bit a buffet for D.Va players currently.
Yeah, we're playing Hungry Hippos over here now. A little bit different. That should be a new game mode in Overwatch 2. Somebody make that.
I mean, it's probably going to be made in Overwatch 2, that's for sure. Right, Proper. Railgun. Oh, Ultraviolet. Wrong time to peek head around that corner. Can he pick up Ultraviolet too? That would actually be a massive pick. No, he gets chased up by a Violet of all people. Even a lamp to save the Sojourn. Atlanta Rain still control, but it'll not for long as Shock look to find the flip as Vigilante and Venom end up falling. Very, very close. Series or the map so far, 62 to 53.
Yeah, there's a little bit more firepower for the Rain, though. They've got Speedly's Duplicate online. They are also going to have Ultraviolet's Nano, so you can play really aggressively. Give that over to Hawk once again. You've seen what he's been able to do when that Nano is there to back him up. That is just, like, actually Fat Tracer. Like, I don't think you can take Hawk out that way, especially if you have the Transcendence too.
Oh!
Was that a car or was that actually Venom's fist? I'm not sure.
It hit like a truck or a car, that is for sure. He got bonked. Actually bonked. Another Nano onto Hawk. He just runs down Violet and Finn. He's handling these. I know Speedly got the kill onto Finn there. But Hawk's almost soloing at this point, the back line. All right, there's that little slide. Overtime in session for the Shock. But Rain still end up capping here. Tracer, Pulse Bomb, you've got the Echo Duplicate and the Zenyatta Transcendence for the Rain on this next attack for the Shock. They got a whole fledge of ultimates themselves.
Yeah,
so.
It's 4 versus 4 ultimates here. It's impressive that Ultraviolet only needed the Nano there onto Hawk, but that means that Hawk is going to be able to get back into Mech 2. You're really just looking right now for Vigilante to use that Transcendence here, but if Shock want to just close it out now, they're going to have to get something done with Strike and Pulse Bomb. Can't get eaten.
Proper focus down. Oh, Venom hits the 180, but no, the Transcendence there to save Finn's life. He's going to escort himself back to the rest of his team, but it looked like a big body block there from Hawk, in fact, pushing Finn away from Violet so they could actually secure the kill. 92% of building, and the Atlanta Rain might be able to flip this one on its head. Kalush's self-destruct to get that remake as an actual copy from Speedly, once again to dodge out the damage from that self-destruct. Ends Kalush's life. Self-destruct of his own launched in. Can anybody from San Francisco end up touching? Looks like Proper had already used that power slide, so they can't keep themselves in this round. Still 2 more to go, but the Atlanta Rain 1 round away from stopping that reverse sweep.
Shock don't fare well on control maps sometimes. I feel like it's a tired meme at this point, but is it
True.
Tired if it's still? I don't know.
If it's still true? Yeah, exactly. Is it still?
Ooh, pause?
A little pause. Shock are like, wait, we're on control. Hang on. Can we change game mode? Can we go hybrid? Oh, Hawk's mouse DC.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. You can't play the game if you don't have a mouse, unless you play on a
True
controller.
That. True that. There's only one controller king in Overwatch, and it's Matt. Controller Warlord.
Fair. Very, very fair. Wow.
All right. Yeah, the Atlanta Rain. I can see the hovers right now in spawn.
Those
Don't normally want to talk about them, but it's yeah. Okay, we're still waiting for the mouse to be charged or plugged in or whatever they want to do. With University, it's a pretty interesting map because when you think of City Center, high ground control is pretty important, especially if you want to set your supports up. So you're thinking, well, you go Diva, you go Dive Heroes kind of thing. But for University, it's way more enclosed, like complete opposite of what City Center is, which is quite open. With the San Francisco Shock, what they did in Junkertown was they run that Sigma, which is what they're currently hovering. So they're going to their Junkertown comp with the Sigma, with the BAP, Zen, and Proper on the Sojourn, and Striker, of course, on Tracer. The Atlanta Rain right now, if they do run out with this, kind of wacky, but I like it. They are running Speedy on May and the Orisa for Hawk. So, yeah, a little bit wacky. But on University, it does work.
It does. Close quarters.
There's so many small choke points that May can wall up. You can even literally, it's like the Doomfist May wall. Doom punches person into May wall, but this time it's the spear
into the
from
wall.
Orisa. Right? Yeah. You just create yourself a nice little ice lolly. Put a spear into someone onto the wall, they freeze, turn them into an ice lolly.
Oh my god.
Physics.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. I would love to see that combination come true, but as we hop back in from the pause, some swaps are being made here. I mean, the Echo has been absolutely uncontested for the Rain so far, and if would make sense to kind of continue to see it here. If they want, Rain could go ahead and take the high ground. Speedily has the option to just go ahead and wrap around. All right, well, maybe you just back off now. Now the Vigilante is dead. Okay, Finn, we see you.
Yeah, good fight, good fight. Just a little right click, straight off the rip. Nothing feels better as a Zen player sniping the other Zen. Oh, another meaty right click. A lot of ult charge already, 35% with a few headshots on the right. And yeah, I mean, Shock, you lose your Zen, Atlanta Rain, we take the point for free. And oh, you lose your Tracer. Yeah, we stagger even more.
All right, great. I mean, this is a great start for the Shock here. If we want to go to a round 3, this is the way to do it. With Kaluj playing on the defense as well, you have the shield to be able to shut down these, you know, closer quarters. Hawk is just in there, though. Proper can just get a pincer attack, though. You can see that Hawk's going to have to back out. Maybe just getting some damage for Ultraviolet Vigilante to clean up, but I don't know if this echoes it, Speedily. Might have to switch that up.
Yeah, he put full faith in his team there, but the amount of pocket when you have a Discord orb applied to yourself is pretty immense. Ultraviolet Vigilante unable to give him that much healing, especially with a focus fire coming out. Pretty hard for the Atlanta Rain, mind you, to actually push onto the point. They've got no shield. Orisa can spin the spear, but that's about it. There's the Transcendence, the window coming out from the San Francisco Shock. I mean, Nano for speed, he's pretty good, but he just can't find anything. You see Kaluj reposition the shield, so no sticky bombs or those tri-shots land, and the Atlanta Rain are forced back.
Yeah, Hawk's going to give up on the Orisa. Despite being so close to Terra Surge, the value from Terra Surge just has not been enough. Venom popping out a Pulse Bomb to nothing right there. Maybe trying to go after Striker, but the recall, but the backup, a pause again.
Quick pause. Yeah, we're only in map 5, it's all right. Need to get everything ready to rock and roll. Yeah, sorry for the brief pause. Hopefully we're back in just a moment. Not sure what it is this time, but it's all right. It's okay. It's all good.
Well, you got to make sure that everybody's ready to play the game. That's for sure.
Yeah. It looks like maybe it was a pause. Yeah, it was a pause on the Atlanta Rain's side. Okay. Shock are ready. Just wait for the Rain once again. So Hawk switched over to the D.Va now, so no more Orisa.
Well, which makes sense. I mean, despite being so close to the Terra Surge, you're not really going to find value from it. Everybody on Shock can play kind of away from each other, so you don't get the group up that you would want. And honestly, Terra Surge has been a pretty big miss for a lot of players. It just hasn't converted to value. Hawk has been exceptional on the D.Va. May as well go to that. Maybe get another Pulse Bomb from Striker. Soak up some of the damage here from Proper Sojourn. It just makes a lot more sense. So that's going to be it, the D.Va. But hopefully that switches in too late. This is their last chance to get back into this one.
Well, they are touching, so at least they'll trigger overtime. But with Hawk dead, they've got no front line left. Proper with an easy double tap onto Speedly. And this is turning out rather one-sided. Oh, this should be pretty easy for you. There you go. Hook, line, and sinker for Proper there. San Francisco Shock absolutely flatten the Atlanta Rain on that round. 100-0. Truly is a map 5 banger as we go all the way to map 5, round number 3. It was a little bit anticlimactic with all the pauses, but I mean, even if there wasn't the pauses there, it's still 100-0.
Yeah, it's still a great round here for the Shock, and hopefully bolstering their confidence. While control may not be their specialty, I mean...
Say it ain't so.
What is happening?
Even Finn's like, oh my god.
Another pause?
No PP?
Are we not pausing? Venom said pause?
Oh, it's a little pause.
Okay. Well.
No! They can't keep getting away with this. If we pause enough time, maybe they'll lose momentum.
I mean, listen, I don't think that's what they're going for, but...
No, definitely not. I think it must be like some sort of tech issue or something.
Yeah.
Looks like Venom has left the lobby, so maybe a quick restart on his end. Not 100% sure, but yeah, we'll get back
that's
to the
a
action
little,
in just a moment.
That is a little rough because Venom is using the symmetric teleporter strat for the team. I mean, we're going to see it on both sides, but if you're trying to beat Shock to the punch of getting to the high ground so you can set up a potential echo, I mean, you want to at least take that away from Proper too. So that does feel a little bad. Hopefully it's not that bad.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, it does put a little damper in the sails though, doesn't it, really? I mean, especially if you're the Atlanta Reign. I guess Shock, you're not like overly fussed, right? I mean, it's not you that are pausing. On the Atlanta Reign side, it's like a little bit more frustrating for you because you're having to call for the pauses.
Maybe. I mean,
I'm pausing. Okay.
I'm pausing. Third time's the charm.
Op Sojourn. PogJam. All right, let's go. We're unpausing. We're getting into game. Final round. No more pauses, please.
Yep.
We're all good. Unless there's a problem, then please pause and obviously make sure you're all good.
Okay, well look at that. With the symmetric teleporter strategy for both teams, it's still going to be Reign that is going to make it there, forcing out the immortality field too.
Oh.
And
the lamp though.
Woo!
Insta delete. That was a nice nade from Ultraviolet. Set up that fight perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, first cap to the Reign. Almost certainly here. I don't think you can go in without your Sigma, and so you will see Shock just kind of jockeying for position, trying to get some poke damage as Kaluj comes back, and they're going to also go ahead and go through the building instead, but Hawk is right there to meet them. Ultraviolet set up on the high ground too. You could go for a huge nade, which will engage the Reign to follow up on it.
All right, how do Atlanta Reign postulate around this one? That's a little bit proper as he tries to take high ground, but their comp is very static, is the Shocks currently. So if they need to move together. And it looks like they're just more than willing to just hang out here for the time being. Vigilante takes care of Proper as now Striker helps Finn with the D-Mech onto Hawk. They still control the point, and Hawk is getting perma-pocketed right now as Speedly receives the nano, so the supports don't need to look at him right now as he does kill off Kaluj. However, Violet and Finn are just keeping each other alive throughout this whole fight. And this will be the Shock's turn to flip.
Yeah, big flip for them as well with how many resources they got out of the Reign. No more Pulse Bomb, no more Nano. But, I mean, Shock didn't have to use much to get that either. Now that they're playing on the defense, Violet's Amplification Matrix is not only deadly, but it's also just powerful in the sense that you get so much space for it. If you pop the Amplification Matrix now, Reign just, they get valuable time taken away from them because they don't want to move in on that. Oh, Popper just, whoo! The sticky bombs, almost taking him out.
Ooh. See ya. Venom gets right-click through that window. That's a one-shot body shot with that railgun. Speedly earned himself a pulse bomb. Oh, throws it out. Gets killed out of the copy. San Francisco Shock almost matching the percentage now of the Atlanta Reign as that copy takes taken care of. The San Francisco Shock 2, Rose, they're just hodling in this little corner. There's not much you can really do. You have to force something if you're the Reign, but Speedly just walks into the sights of Proper right now. And now they've gained the lead. Supports Vigilante and Ultraviolet are protected by the massive Hawk, but yeah, going for a reset is needed currently. At least they forced the Transcendence.
Yeah, so both Transcendence is out now. A huge stagger onto Ultraviolet, and by the time that the Atlanta Reign come back into this one, it's probably last fight territory for them. Reliant.
Venom can't die.
No, he can't. He can't go for the pulse bomb either. Oh, the stick. Oh, the Amplification Matrix. Or the mortality
so
field.
good.
Holy shit.
Yeah, nice lamp, nice lamp. Venom gets, at least they get that out, but Vigilante's already dead. Now it's going to be final fight if they fight as 5 here on the Atlanta Reign. Striker looking for a pulse. Oh, goodbye, Diva. Maybe a free pulse bomb. No, he's actually just going to hunt Hawk down. The stick's there. The Matrix was not. Self-destruct to try and get the remake. Striker desperately trying to find the pilot Diva, and he does so with the help of Proper. Final fight for the Shockers. 5% is all that they need to find this reverse sweep. Someone from the Reign needs to touch. Overtime is triggered, but now Violet is dead. Speedly receives the nano in time, but is no way near that ult. And the backline from the Shock looking adamantium right now. Overtime ticking down, only Hawk alive, and the Atlanta Reign get reverse swept by the Shock. Round 3, map number 5. San Francisco Shock had no problem taking him there. What an unbelievable turnaround. Head in hands for Venom. So well played up until that third map. Proper opened it up for them, and they take it home.
That was so well done from the Shock, and what a great adjustment as well. Speedly's Echo gave them so much trouble on that first control round, but they figured it out, and just in time, Jaws, to get the reverse sweep. And this is the first win that they've had in a while. They end their lose streak here too. Congratulations to them.
They don't want to break their own personal record, right? I mean, that's that's a big achievement in of itself. They set an impressive one, obviously, earlier on in the season before they found their first loss. But regaining some confidence here, Rose. I think that's quite important for the Shock. They've obviously so used to winning, right? And then having a small lose streak, it can feel pretty detrimental to the team because you're not used to being in that sort of situation. The San Francisco Shock always have a lot of hopes in their roster, and there's a lot of weight on their shoulders, I think, especially after breaking that all-time win streak of the league this year and managing to come back against one of the strongest teams in this meta. It's gotta feel good.
It's gotta feel good. And the way that the Shock played those final moments as well was just really, really stellar. It felt like they were all playing together as a unit, and that's really where the reverse sweep started, was with this play from Proper, our player of the match. Shock wouldn't even be in this position right now to get the reverse sweep if it wasn't for this huge clutch from Proper on Junkertown with the overclock, just absolutely wreaking havoc for the Reign. And it kind of also just...
Here it is.
Yeah, like this is where it all started, and this is kind of where it ended too. Shock just continuing with that momentum to play off of their strong individual plays, but also melding them together to play as a unit.
Proper does do proper things at times, and yeah, the adaptation from the Shock 2 to swap to the Batiste really worked out for them. There was a lot of times where they were just getting picked off. They needed kind of an extra safety net in the Lamp to stop the dives coming in from the Sombra, from the Tracer, even from the Echo. Yeah, but Proper started it all off, and he ended it too. I think it goes without saying, like, the San Francisco Shock without Proper right now wouldn't be doing nearly as hot. And of course, well, I guess they've not been doing so hot because they've lost a few games recently. But Proper is really the man you've got to look to when you need some clutch factor, and he's got that, and he's got that in spades.
I mean, I want to give credit to the rest of the Shock though too, because there's only so much that a singular good DPS can do. I mean, look at how Happy had performed on Washington Justice, and even sometimes those moments weren't enough. Or you look at New York Excelsior and how much sometimes Flora was putting in. But if the whole team isn't behind you, that won't convert to success. And so you love to see that from the Shock, that not only is Proper powerful as an individual, but the rest of the team is also playing around that too. So there's follow-up there.
Oh yeah. I mean, big up to Kalush. You can't forget that. His amount of pulse bombs he ate was ludicrous. Like, the amount of pulse bombs we didn't see in that series was insane. I think less landed. I think more were actually eaten than landed. So yeah, that was pretty insane too. So yeah, big shout out to Kalush, of course. Was definitely the runner-up, I suppose, in the player of the match. We're going to jump to a brief break. There'll be an interview on the other side of it, and the desk can wrap up the day.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to welcome to Watchpoint Post Show, everybody. Danny here with Proper. Thank you. All right, Proper from San Francisco Shock, coming off from a great win against Atlanta Reign. Now, before we start this interview, Proper, I just want to ask you because I've seen on Twitter that you had a slight injury in the eye. I'm pretty sure a lot of Shock fan are also very curious. Just wondering if you're fully recovered and how you're feeling. 자, 오늘 인터뷰를 들어가기 전에 프로퍼 선수 일단 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 제가 트위터나 인터넷에서 봤는데 지금 눈 어떻게 좀 부상이 있었다고 들었는데 지금 현 상황에 대해서 좀 살짝 좀 설명을 해주실 수 있을까요? 지금 좀 다 나으신 거죠?
눈이 제가 실핏줄이 터졌어가지고 눈이 오른쪽 눈이 계속 빨갰거든요. 근데 이게 이제 좀 오래 가가지고 한 3주 동안 눈이 전체가 빨개가지고 지금은 좀 많이 괜찮아졌어요.
All right. So Proper says that his right eye, there was his blood vessel popped in his right eye. So he had his right eye has been sort of red for a long time. It's been 3 weeks and he's been recovering. But now he says that he is feeling a lot better and the redness is gone. So he is A-okay. All right, talking about this, actually no, before we talk about this match, I have another big question because I think this is a big question for everybody in the Overwatch League. San Francisco Shock, of course, before coming into this match, you guys are 0-3. You guys have been sort of struggling this stage. So what were some of the problems that you guys had when the stage started? 자, 다음 질문은 오늘 또 경기 좀 더 들어가기 전에 한 번 더 이제 더 중요한 걸 좀 더 여쭤보고 싶은 게 아무래도 센쇼크의 연패에 대해서 좀 여쭤보고 싶습니다. 0승 3패로 어떻게 보면 이번 스테이지가 시작하면서 좀 힘들어하는 모습을 많이 봤던 것 같은데 좀 그거에 대해서 좀 특별한 이유가 있을까요? 좀 어떤 것 때문에 이렇게 좀 3연패가 된 것 같으신가요?
일단 저희가 저번 주 월요일에 스크림을 시작하긴 했는데 이번 메타에서 저희가 스크림을 할 때 아직 저희만의 스타일을 아직 못 찾은 것 같아가지고 좀 많이 헤맸던 것 같고 또 오늘 그래서 오늘까지도 계속 헤매가지고 그냥 저희 잘하는 걸로 그냥 가자 해가지고 이렇게 이겼던 것 같아요.
All right. So we started screaming last Monday, and when we started screaming and coming into this stage, I think the biggest problem was that we sort of couldn't find our own style in this meta. So we were a lot of times we were sort of feeling lost. So even for today, going into today's match against Atlanta Reign, we sort of just wanted to play whatever we were good at, what we were comfortable and we had the confidence in. So I think that's how we played today against the Atlanta Reign, and we got the win. Proper, would you say that you guys are still sort of trying to find your own, I guess, quote-unquote style for this meta? 자, 그럼 마지막 질문으로 어떻게 프로보 선수 아직까지도 그러면 센쇼크이 지금 현 스테이지에서 지금 메타에서 아직도 좀 센쇼크만의 스타일을 좀 찾고 있다고 생각을 하시나요?
네, 오늘 좀 저희가 계속 찾고 있는 것 같긴 하고 오늘 좀 그래도 한 80%, 70% 답을 찾지 않았을까 이번 경기로 인해서.
알겠습니다. All right, so Proper did say that yes, they are still trying to find their own style. But with this win and against after their match against the Atlanta Reign, they're about 80% sure what they sort of want to run with for this meta and for this stage. All right, that is it for the interview. Proper, congratulations on the win, and again, big thank you for your amazing answers. 자, 마지막으로 오늘 인터뷰를 마치면서 오늘 승리 축하드리고 또 이렇게 좋은 인터뷰 해주셔서 너무나도 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The San Francisco Shock complete the reverse sweep. I will say, though, coming into this game, San Francisco Really? We're going to do this?
Sorry.
San Francisco notorious for dropping the first map, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to that fifth map, they actually have an extremely good win rate, even though they're both on control. And Johnny, you're saying as we're coming into that last map that their Oasis record is pretty darn good amongst a map type that generally doesn't favor them, especially in that first game type in a series.
Yeah, I mean, I think the narrative is that San Francisco Shock sucks on control because they did, like, a couple seasons ago, Shock were really poor on control maps. But they actually have like a, over 50 map record there on control. Yeah. Over 50% win rate. I think they have like 55% win rate on control. They were 7-3 on Oasis going into this one, so they're 8-3 now on Oasis. Very good considering that's a great map for them. So if you go there for map 5, you're a happy Shock fan, right? So great win to close things out here. Look, this was a back and forth for the ages. Look, it started out with Atlanta Reign dominating and speedily, of course, playing the Echo. That was what I talked about going into this match. You know, how would San Francisco Shock deal with the Echo? And they didn't really. And that was a large part of why Atlanta Reign went up 2-0 against the San Francisco Shock. Noteworthy